Hey there, man. This should be recording. Good morning, Monday. Just gonna show you the gold chart. So this is my gold system, and it's a little bit complex, but I'll show you the real simple. Every one of these can be traded off of. This is kind of what I check every week. But I'll show you basically my position and why I'm long. So, um, so basically, I'm staying long. This is a 400-day moving average. 400, that thick blue line. So my consensus, as long as it stays above that, it's more likely to keep going. It's in an uptrend. So I'm going to keep buying on these short-term moving averages whenever it shows. I'm not going to sell until it crosses this. This is a long-term position. Obviously, I got here at Onyx. This is basically my Onyx position. Um, so I could take another one if I wanted to, but you can kind of see historically how this was 2018. This is kind of a long term. This is what I designed to basically just ride an uptrend for a long time. It takes profits. Let me see where it takes. I got a trailing stop of 11%, and so if it goes up and it ever comes, if it went up to say 2,000, it comes down, 11% from there. You get out, it's signaling me to get out. Profit target 25%. And right here, so it's, to give you an idea, I almost got stopped out of the position. You can see right there. So, it's not that I'm going to hold all the way to down here. It's, this is my line in the sand here. This, and that's about my 11%. So 11%, so in here, so that, I got about 10,000 in Onyx on this chart, basically. You can see it's signaling, this was the last signal. And signaling again. Basically, I think this is a good way to build a physical position for a couple years. So you can see like here, okay, well that was probably a loser, right? These are probably loser or break even. What this is designed for is something like this here. So you got to get the run to really make it pay off, obviously, but it's not really short-term trading. What I think we're in is this from 2000 on. You can see it did break the long term, but you can see this is a 20-year, or I guess a 12-year. Sorry, it's 12-year run. So, and that's what I think is going on. I think we're in a 12-year run, but I could be very wrong. You don't know till after it's over. But you can see how it acted here. And you're just playing that run for as it acts. Basically, kind of averaging in on up moves, and as long as it doesn't enter a long-term downtrend. The nice thing though is, it keeps you out of this kind of crap, right? Keeps you from buying here. Yeah. So you bought here. All right. Well, you lost a little bit. But at least you weren't like what I did years ago and bought, in here and had to hold the son bitch all the way in here. So that shows you one example. I know it's not real in depth necessarily, but give you an idea of why show you why I'm, and you can see how it's been working. Obviously, these were hugely profitable. Didn't mean this one's going to be longer term, but so that's an actual algorithm that I built or had built. So that's 64% correct. Your wins are 5 times your losses. So you're controlling your losses, and this one kind of works similar. I'll just show you since we're here. So you can see this is ATRs, you know, average true range. And this is a little bit longer holding period. It works kind of similar, but I'm still kind of perfecting this one. But basically you can buy it's in the green. You know, this isn't going to give a sell signal until here. It's going to keep buying as long as it's above these 3 moving averages. And it's probably getting ready to buy. But it should have bought here, so I gotta talk to the developer on that a little bit. But it you know, that's how it worked on the last one, on the last real big run. But I'm not using this one. This is a good kind of physical Onyx type of style. You can see I have it in here. I'm in, you know, I'm in here on this one. 1952. You know, so I probably bought $1,000 or something right there. You know, maybe 2,000. But so a little bit shorter term here. This is what basically I'm doing right now. These are moving averages. You got a cross here, so I like a crossover, shows an upward trend, and then I buy whenever this is down here. This is stochastics, but so, and I use this for my options. So I know I'm in an uptrend. So here is my buy point, January 19th at 1842. So that's, you know, that's where I buy. I'm actually in over here, you know, but right around that 1842. And I bought some in here, but my average price right now is probably in there for option position, which I'm trading GLD options. But I mean, there's no sense in doing GLD if you can do Onyx unless you're doing options. So, and you can see my dots here. I like my dots, parabolic dots. Let's just make them a little bit more. So you can buy whenever these break out too, or at least that's my rule. You know, these dots have been around since the 70s. They're not necessarily, I didn't design them, but they're based off of, you know, price moves. So, you know, you could wait for it to break out if you want to be a breakout trader. I like to buy exhaustion. This move shows it's exhausted. I feel like I get a better value a lot of times, but I'll buy both. It takes a different mental state in a way to, you know, you got to be, you know, a lot of times whenever it breaks out, it pulls back. But I'll do both, especially if it's not pulling back and I really like it. But I mean, this was the last run here. Some of this was designed based on this last run, just because I missed a good portion of it because I was using other techniques or shorter term from time frame techniques. So this is what I like, and I've kind of used a multiple of stuff, and I'm kind of finding what I like now. So, but this was the last run. You can see that crossover. And, you know, this would have been a buy point. This would have been a buy point, buy point, buy point. And then at there, my position's probably built. Maybe I buy if it breaks out, right? Maybe I buy here if it breaks out. You know, but I'm not necessarily selling because the trend didn't end. So whenever it gets up here, I mean, it's, you know, it's kind of difficult to be acquiring a position whenever this kind of stuff is happening. You want to acquire right here. That's where I would, you know, not just because I'm looking back, but that would be the idea. you know, here. I mean, right in here. And hopefully catch a run here. So I'm looking for another one of these. You know, let's say, you know, let's call that, I don't know, call it 1300 to 1500. You know, 18. You know, that's telling me to take profits just historically. That's historically, you know, and that's what all these are. It's not just, it's all based off of, if it crosses over, it'll close out. You can see here, these would probably break even or losses. So the move has to happen. You know, we could very well be in, if it happens, it'll catch it very well. But anyhow, and man, maybe we're in, I mean, some people think we might be in this kind of shit. You know, we're right at the blue line. You know, but it ran up to all-time highs. I mean, maybe we're in this kind of stuff here. You know, which is pretty concerning. Doesn't really matter to me. I'll just get out and move on with life. But I wouldn't want anybody to start a position and then be right here and, you know, stay in for. It's all right if you are. You know, if you get in and it goes against you, obviously it goes against you. That's kind of part of it. But if you, I just wouldn't want anybody to stay in through this kind of shit. I mean, that's a painful, that's a painful deal. Yeah. You can see whenever it gets running though, it can be difficult to get a position if you're not willing to buy breakouts. A lot of it just depends on what type of person you are. Do you like buying something that's on sale down here? Do you like buying something that you want to see profits right away? You know, like that day, next day, and that week. And so, anyhow, you know, I guess you look and say, okay, well, how could we avoided this? Well, you know, probably the best way would have been to draw a line, and a lot of times just simple support and resistance. Okay, that's our line. Breaks that line, I'm out. So you got to have a stop point. You know, obviously my moving average has got me out. So that's kind of like here, right? You know, for me, that line for my own X position, it's, you know, there. You know, this should provide support. For my option position, if this line crosses, then, you know, I'm out. And you can see here, I mean, it's looking like we should probably get a pullback and, you know, maybe another chance to buy. But yeah, I mean, 18 and anywhere in there, I wouldn't be afraid to buy. These are, you know, this was how I started my option position. So I got in here and I got out. I got in here and then I got out. I was fortunate enough to break even here. I got in a little bit early, didn't wait for the cross. But you can see here, so if it happens, it'll catch it. But so I got back in, you know, right in here, and you know, things really started. I said, I'm getting out of it. Oh, let's see. 725. But anyhow, yeah, that's how I'm looking to. Let's check this out real quick. This is interesting. I gotta take my weekly notes. I haven't. I know this looks really confusing. But yeah, I'm not even really gonna. And you don't need all this stuff to learn the market. It's pretty simple techniques. You know, this is just based on a lot of study. But you can see this is the stochastics, and which I really like is, and that's starting to put back in an upward trend. I get pretty concerned whenever this happens, whenever that crosses over. And this is a pretty good algorithm, if I recall. It stays in here and then it buys on these crossovers. And everything I have in here is pretty good. Yeah, 68% profitable. Your wins are 4 times your losses. So, and this will keep adding to the position. Come on. So add, you know, profits, purple profits, and so this is getting ready to build a position, you know, and take that position. You know, add, loss, add, break even, maybe make some money. Add, take some profits, add profits, add, kind of just gives you an idea. So you just really want to control your losses. But you can see here, so if the move breaks 1743, you know, I'm done being long gold. But until then, you know, like I said, that's 1765 for that other. But anywho, and this is basically the same as that, but it 61%. Market came back up a little bit. Market's fixing to open over here. But this is long-term stuff. You can see, you know, I would be looking for this green and red line to cross, and I mean that's pretty damn close. That's close enough for me because I have this going on. You know, you can see in this example, this will usually trigger first, but anyhow, you know, so I'm getting, you know, if I mean this is what I'm using essentially, but this is weekly stuff, so you know, it's stronger, it's more powerful, there's more momentum there, but and you can see here, you know, it's one reason I like the dots is it follows it up really nice. 1796, so maybe you got to stop at 1796. Market open. So anyhow, Oh, same thing here. I mean, maybe you put your, just depends on your comfort level. I wouldn't be afraid to have a stop at 1796, but if you ultimately just want some exposure too, and you want to avoid a huge downtrend. But anyhow, let's let me check the market real quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna short this. I don't know why my trade station closed. This is my Top Step paper account. That I'm doing for that day trading. Come on, you stupid thing. I don't think it's working very well because of the video software. This usually doesn't happen. Yeah, maybe I'm not gonna short this actually. Some bitch is breaking. That's a no-go. I think I'll just wait. Yep, I think I'll just wait. I'd like to see this here. Yeah. All right, man. Hopefully the video wasn't too long. I'm gonna send you a well, real quick. I could just show you the market. I guess let's look at the market, and I'm not gonna go over it that long. What's the oil doing this morning? Just Google that. Bitcoin. It's fucking nuts. Let's see my Bitcoin chart. Pull it up here in a second. Let's see. I opened. I guess it didn't open. Sorry, switching kind of fast there. As the market's up, it was down. I think I could go ahead. I'll try not to do anything till 30 minutes after, so. You really don't want to fight that. Yeah, I would go ahead. If I was going to take a move, I'd go ahead and short here with a stop here. And it would probably lose. But I'm going to wait for a more definite one. Come on. So just like in gold, this is my this is what I check every week. Bonds are up. Let's see. And make notes on every week. And one thing I didn't show you in gold here. Let me show you real quick. This is my short term. So if I'm in for, I don't know, I buy 1 month contracts on this chart, but I just do to. So these were some of my past positions, and you know I wasn't able to exit because it was overnight, so still in. Rode that up. So I might take another contract here, and I have to look what I got on this morning. But this is, you know, this is. So I'm expecting to move. This is a 15-minute chart. I'm expecting to move in 7 to 14 days. But I buy a month-long contract. You know, so this was a good little run. I think it broke even or lost a little bit there. And here, I got in early here. Didn't wait for this one, but it worked out nice. But you can kind of just see, you know, how that. So this is only 44% profitable, and your wins are only 1.7 times your losses. So it's not like it's more of a, like I said, 1 week to. I'm just kind of going to show you the last big rally, you know, it caught the app, would have told you, all right, start protecting profits or take profits, gave you another entry. And the nice thing is if you buy these on a month contract, you know, you shorten the time frame up. There's the options are a lot cheaper. You gotta, you know, be right to still make money, but the options are a lot cheaper. So where it's at now, maybe we get a short-term move. Waiting here. Really good price action here to see that up today, though. Let's see if we can take a short. Yeah. So yeah, I broke that. I'm not, you know, I'm really more waiting for a long trade now. So I'd probably be looking for a long trade. But if I had to trade it, I'd take a short at this current moment. But I'd have a tight stop of 38.47. But I'd be looking to this to come down. So if I take my short, I'll take it on this chart. So let's just look at oil real quick. I'm really curious what's going to happen with oil. I don't think it's going to hold here. You can see my line in the sand. Actually, I might actually buy a contract on oil to go short today. Reason being is this weekly up here, that's getting pretty weak. You can see last time I shorted oil was in here. It had turned into a break-even trade. It recovered pretty quick, but I was up nicely, real nice on around this time frame. And I recovered and I got out. And if I go short, I actually use a separate. This is my long only. I don't think oil will break that 54.40. And the reason why I have that there is, you know, but I didn't really think it would break 50. Well, I guess I thought it might break 50, but so this is kind of where I'm drawing that line off of. this top here, so I'm considering that resistance. You know, and then these price levels in here somewhat, and then this one right here. That was, I think, where I really picked a resistance point. So, and you can see, you know, this is obviously coming down. You know, if this gets way down here and gets oversold, I'd actually probably be a buyer of oil for. But I was short oil in here, and I sold out too early. But you can see that it's got some, you know, it's come up, and this bar right here is what we call a kangaroo tail. People have different names for it, but this is a. So what that means, I'm just showing you what I'm looking at. It doesn't mean that it will or won't. Obviously, I don't fucking know. All I know is how to do it, if trade it, if it does or doesn't. And I never worry about where it's going to. I never try to predict. I just try to act. So this bar, though, on the left, these are bar charts. One of the simplest charts you can get, but I like them because they're simple. But so the left is the open, so it opened, and the right is the close. So this means that on this day it went up there, price went up there, but it couldn't close high, so it made a lower high. So I would call that the top, 53.85. You can see here today, not acting so pretty. So if I was long right here, well, it depends how committed I was, but if I was long, you know, I wouldn't be adding yet. I'd wait till my stochastics got down here and mathematically add based on price. Same thing whenever I was short, it would have been a lot better run if I would have shorted from up here and then up there again. Boom. So that's kind of how I'm taking my shots. All right. And who knows? Maybe it just blows past. I mean, it's fucking oil, right? I mean, but it is breaking into an uptrend. It broke the ATRs. But you gotta ask, okay, well, and then the question comes: is that a false breakout? Is that, you know, I like it whenever it breaks out. I kind of like to wait. But maybe we have something like this. You know, this was a false breakdown. There's our oil collapse of 2015. That'd have been a nice run. So yeah, who knows? You know, I mean, there's so much money printing going on. Commodity prices have risen a lot. You know, but I don't see how oil can really go much higher except for money printing and just on a fundamental side, but that doesn't mean anything. Month chart and an uptrend. This weekly here has got me pretty nervous. Not nervous for me, but you can see, you know, how I was talking about those candles. You can see on the weekly chart even more clearer. Week. That's not real strong movement. You can see here why that concerns me. You know, it could turn around and just run, but you know, it ain't no fucking buy of a lifetime. You know, and here is my last, you know, my last buy zone where I could have bought. I did buy some. Bought some Exxon too. Sold out a little early. I had a bad habit of doing that. Anyhow, man, hopefully this wasn't too long. This is my short-term chart here. So I could have taken a move here on this breakout and kind of picked a point and wrote it up. I chose not to. Obviously, you kind of regret that, but I'll show you one more chart that's see, the market stands steady. Gold's looking all right, better up than down. Silver's looking all right. I guess we should let's look at silver real quick. Silver does obviously trade with gold. You know, gold, I mean, silver's just more explosive. And I think silver's a way better value in my opinion. I mean, at 25 an ounce. This is the one I really worked on. Yeah, this is rice and corn too. I trade rice and corn. You know, my study has proven that, I mean, for trend following, I trade rice and corn the same way I trade silver. Gold, I've broken down a lot more. Then silver's a hard trade, and then the options aren't real good. So I focus on gold, the market in general, and bonds and oil. And silver I just hold. You know, silver's a 20-year play for me, unless things get crazy. 5 to 20 years. See here, it's coming around. Like to see that. That's good. People got pretty scared there. You can see this chart over long haul is only 36% profitable when your profit factor is 2.5. Like I said, silver is, you know, it's harder to trade. But whenever, you know, that's over 20 years, that profit factor should actually be higher. At least I feel like it should. But the math doesn't lie, I guess. So anyhow, I mean, I think we're in something like this here, and we might see a parabolic run. I could be absolutely wrong, but you know, we could be in this, right? A nice run, boom. Doesn't change the fact it's still in a bull market. I think we're going to see something like this in the next year or two. But I said next year or two, and you know, I'm not saying tomorrow. So this was my last silver trade here. I was actually in here because I just started buying. I just fucking bought all I could whenever this happened. And I bought Nonex whenever this happened because, well, I thought the paper market might just fucking collapse. It was acting crazy. So I did buy options too. I think on this, you know, I mean, we made, you know, I think 8,000, 9,000. I've given back quite a bit this year. Really just been a year of studying and perfecting my method. But this kind of just shows you the potential. But yeah, we did do about 8,000-9,000 between ONEX and options here. This was actually my best trade of the year. Well, I guess treasuries. I shorted treasuries, and that was about 8,000 too. But anyhow, that's my last move there, and you can see this was my buy zone here recently. So December 7th, 24.20. Now, if this crosses and doesn't recross, I mean, I'm just done trading silver. You know, for the time being. But so obviously I have my lines. Let's see if we got some. Let's put some. So if we did ATRs on that, which is just the average true range of how silver moves and tracks it for you. I had this, this was already programmed, but I had it tested and reprogrammed into those other ones that you see. So 20, you know, breaks 21 basically. I mean, I'm absolutely totally out. I'm not sticking around for this kind of crap. And maybe we are in something right here. I just know I'm not sticking around for this or this. That's fucking painful. But you can kind of see how this works a little bit of, you know, this is whenever I didn't know absolutely anything of technical charting is, you know, this is whenever I really went long silver in this area. And what was this telling me? This was telling me, nope. You know, you see all that red? I mean, I needed to be short if anything. You see all that red, and then, you know, I should have shorted right in here. But, you know, I was buying all in here, which is fine for a physical long-term 20-year position, and you're just averaging in. But there's no fucking sense in that. I mean, I should have been... So my main goal is to avoid this kind of stuff and not hold through it. And then catch this kind of stuff. This kind of stuff. So, you know, that, you know, I just have to get out at 21 to avoid that. But I like to see this. This might run. You know, it really needs to break out. So, I could just consolidate, but it'd be interesting. Alright. Man, I want to buy some fucking rice contracts. Look at this. Look at that move. I need to fucking open me an IRA futures account. Really want to buy some rice here. Let's look at natural gas real quick. I'm not going to get too in depth with natural gas, but I'm not buying yet. My last buy point was in here. You know, in here. In here, in here. I should say this was my last buy point. Shut up. So in here, you know, 230. This is actual natural gas futures. So, you know, here. So I'm waiting for another buy point. But I think natural gas, I mean, that's a... And I don't necessarily go off my moving averages totally for natural gas because it's very difficult to trade. So it's more of a buy and hold for... I do go more off of my stochastics. Wheat was a good buy. I couldn't trade it. Corn. Just look at these for fun real quick. Let me see corn going fucking parabolic. Which, in the fact that corn and wheat is going parabolic makes me kind of think oil might really do something. But you can see these last moves. That would suck to get in, huh? Golly. But you can see how this protected you here. You know, I wouldn't have bought that. So you kind of want to use price and you want to use an oscillator. And this oscillator is not taken into here. This is just price and moving averages. So I use this to kind of help, you know, to help me be a sniper. Silver and gold's coming back down. It's coming back down. Yeah, I should have shorted that fucker. I might get another shot. Alright, I'm gonna get going. I'm just gonna show you this crazy Bitcoin chart. Look at the move I missed out on. So system triggered here, and I took profits here. Look at that. That fucking bullshit. That cost me $5 grand. I didn't lose money, obviously, but you know, I wrote it up from 11,000 to 18. It's hard to be too mad with that, but I was gonna get back in on this break, but I wasn't watching it real close, and I seen it kind of pull back. But you can see how my strategy works. It did break my dots. I could have bought. I could have bought here, and right now, I'd be fucking buying if I wanted to, but I'm not doing that. I'd like to see what happens. I think those moving averages are probably going to cross. But yeah, I mean, I could have bought here for the next run if it's going to run. But it's hard because Bitcoin doesn't have options, so you know it's easy to get excited about a 100% move, but that happens every single minute or day in the options market. All right, man. We'll see you. Bye.